3, 2, 1.
Okay, we're calling open session to order at 6:08 p.m. Coming out of closed session, we have one item to report. In closed session, and upon a motion by Christina Behringer and seconded by Nathan Bristol, the Snowline Joint Unified School District Board of Trustees took action to employ Debbie Barber as the principal of Vista Verde Elementary School, effective August 10th, 2022. The roll call vote was as follows. President Hernandez absent, Clerk Flores aye, Member Behringer aye, Member Bristol aye, Member Cologne absent. But we'd like to say congratulations. And I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Holman if you have anything to say.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so very much, Clerk Flores. Congratulations to Debbie Barber running the gauntlet that is all kinds of interviews and all that's required that we do for all of our administrators. You did that oh so very well. Debbie, has been with us. I think she's starting her 6th year in Snowline. Is that right? I think 2 years at Heritage, 3 as an assistant principal, and now here's her 4th as principal. Vista Verde Elementary School is getting someone who's going to just do outstanding work. She is known to be in her role as that administrator out there, and that's the assistant principal for the last 3 years, as one who loves that community. She is one, even though she's in blue tonight, she certainly has her heart filled with green that represents Vista Verde Elementary School. And I just bring that up. It's blue. It looks wonderful on you. She truly does represent all that's green out there. Vista Verde Elementary School is one that is a better place because of what she's done already. And as the leader now, as the principal, she's going to do even greater things. We are all very thrilled to have her come on board as the new principal, and I know that entire community out there. And that's a community that is connected to the school like probably no other school, right? I mean, that is really the only game in town is the school. And that community has absolutely appreciated her leadership to date and will only grow to appreciate it even more. So Debbie, congratulations to you for sure. So I turn that back over to you, Clerk Flores, for any other comments to her.
Just that I hear you've got a pretty busy day ahead, evening of planning, and then tomorrow kind of a big day with back to school night, and then first day of school. So I know how much you'd probably love to stay and enjoy the board meeting tonight, but we would really invite you to make your own decision on whether you'd like to stay or if you'd like to maybe head on out. But we're so grateful, and so good luck for the year ahead, and we're really grateful. Yeah, thanks. Okay, take you up on that.
Bye.
Yeah, my thanks, Debbie.
Okay, well, maybe we should have had her stay for another minute, but it's time for Pledge of Allegiance is next. So if we can all stand. Okay, ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Comments. Ms. Stapp, do we have any comments?
We do not. Clerk Flores, at this time, there are no community comments.
Okay. Item G, the adoption of the agenda. Can I ask for a motion to adopt tonight's agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. Discussion? No, nothing to discuss on that. Show of hands. Approval? Yes.
All in favor?
All in favor? Sorry, of adopting the agenda.
Thank you.
Do I ask for any opposed if no one else is? It passes.
Yeah,
unanimously.
you're good. You're
Okay.
good, Clerk Flores.
Okay, brings us to consent motions. And I have a motion to accept the consent motions.
Move approval.
Okay, and a second.
Second.
and the general conditions for public works contracts, the approval of authorization to piggyback on bids awarded by other public agencies and school districts. Also, the approval of final settlement agreements for special education students. Okay. And finally, the approval and ratification of district financial transactions. Which brings us graciously to item I1, Human Resources. We're looking at the approval for the adoption of declaration of qualified educators for the 22-23 school year. Mr. Pringle.
Thank you very much, Clerk Flores. For those of you who've been on the board for a while, you know this is a regular part of our August board items. We are asked to always hire the highest quality teachers as a start, but we do declare we do have struggles to find candidates that apply to our district, that we have the provision in this declaration that we have the ability to hire, other candidates in this particular case. Need for fully qualified educators for this upcoming year. So as presented, what you have in front of you is an annual renewal of this particular provision.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's an amended declaration. We passed the original back in, I want to say July, but with all of the teachers we've hired, there was a need to increase some of the amounts on the information that was sent to the Commission on Teacher Credentialing. So this is amended.
So we still call for a vote
Yes.
to approve. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the amended adoption of declaration?
I'm just reading it real fast. Okay, I'll make a motion.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay. And the motion passes unanimously. Taking us to item I2, the approval of the amended annual statement of need for 30-day substitute, designated subjects, career, technical education 30-day substitute, and other types of emergency teaching permits that constitute a specific need to provide teachers in the classroom for the 22-23 school year. Mr. Primo, again.
Well, again, I appreciate Nancy kind of really setting the stage. We approved this once. This was actually an amended version based on our hiring. So as you did a good job of reading that title, Clerk Flores, as well, lots of pieces embedded in that, but it's a way for us as a district to move forward with hiring, in this particular case, an amended version of that approval.
I'll move approval.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, passes unanimously again.
Thank you.
Okay, item J1, our annual review of the first reading of board policy 1312.1 and 1312.3 and administrative regulation 1312.1, 1312.3, 1312.4, and 4115. Dr. Holman.
Thanks so very much, Clerk Flores. That's read again very, very well. As you see up there, it's an annual review. It's a requirement that we go through each year. 2 board policies, 4 administrative regulations, not up for approval tonight, just a review. We'll bring all of these back at the next meeting to ensure that that can be approved. Are there any questions that we have to answer? If not, we'll certainly bring all this back to the next meeting.
Open that up for the board. Any questions, comments, concerns? No. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
May I add one thing, Ryan?
Certainly,
I'm
you need
sorry. Just for understanding, the listed administrators that you see in that item, those have to be approved every year due to the certificated evaluations that they conduct. So that list changes each year based on new hires, transfers, whatever it might be. Sorry, just wanted to,
Thank you.
just in case.
And and I actually did have a couple questions. These board policies, this wasn't the digital device situation is not part of the.
No, yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, quite a bit of work in that. This
Yeah.
again is required, as Nancy
Yeah,
just
it's just
described.
standard.
Those changes, and ensuring that those the complaint policies it shows there, Williams, all those are
And
required.
all the new employees.
Those are the administrators. Some new, just a few new, but it lists everyone who will be able to evaluate. You can see, for instance, Alan Miller's in there, not a new employee.
Right.
Each year,
okay.
we have to ensure that those are all the people who will be evaluating employees are listed right there, including, as Nancy said, it changes. Kurt Walsh is new out of Malden Mesa Elementary School.
This Dennis Zimmerman.
Dennis Zimmerman, right. And
He was added back to the
he's new.
list.
added back to the list. Exactly. Right. So, yeah, great question. No, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Great questions, I should say.
Okay, item J2, the approval of the Snowline Joint Unified School District Governance Handbook. Dr. Holman.
Yeah, thanks so very much. So attached to your agenda, you'll see that the governance handbook. I really want to say thanks so very much to all of you board members for the last board meeting to share with us what those changes are. And they're really just three. Those three being, if you look at that very first page, you can see great work done by Robert Chacon and then Nancy Stapp to put our current logo on that front page. So you see the current logo. And then as you go into it, it's the third page as you scroll, but it's the first page listed after the table of contents. All of the core values are all on one page, and that was the formatting that Nancy did for us. And then immediately thereafter, the board goals and that addition, I think it was Clerk Flores who offered up that addition. It's highlighted in yellow, and that's on the board goal there, and it's right in front of Clerk Flores. I can see it up on his screen. That was the recommendation, that change there to include that piece. And I just want to make certain it's still in yellow. We'll remove it if you all see fit. Certainly, if you approve it tonight, that yellow will be removed. And maybe I'll stop right there, turn it over to Clerk Flores, and maybe most directly because we felt like that's what we captured from what you said and the board agreed to on board goal number 2.
Looks good to me. Any other concerns, comments, anything?
That's good.
Okay. Well, then I'll accept it.
And then, and then
Go
just
ahead.
one more. I should have said then the fourth one is the very last page. If you go to the back, we updated the names, and I think that was an easy one too, that you would expect, but the clerk could change right since the last time, and so we made that update, and that's reflected on the very last page. And so I want to thank the multi-skilled and wonderful Nancy Stout for navigating all that, because she's the one who did put all that together for us. So thanks for letting me say that last one there, Clerk Flores. Then I'll turn it back over to you for approval would be our recommendation.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Okay.
And Clerk Flores, I will just need everybody to sign the signature page before you leave tonight.
Before we leave tonight.
I have it ready for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
That brings us all the way to item K, which is board member comments. I know it happened quick, but are you ready, Member Bristol, with some comments for tonight?
I've got some comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so I had the opportunity to go to a welcome back breakfast. I think all the other members here tonight also got to, so I won't say it all, so they can say something, I'm sure. But it was great to see all the employees there getting ready and ramping up to get the school year started. Everybody seemed really motivated. We had a motivational speaker / comedian come in and speak to everyone. It was really good. Motivational speaker and super positive. Also, the band was great. They did a great. They started off with a little more contemporary style band with electric guitar and just kind of warming up the crowd, and then they went into the full marching band deal, and it was awesome. So thanks for showing up for that before school even started, and I think that's about it. Thanks.
Awesome. Member Barringer.
Yes, thank you. I was very excited to see all of the employees that came out on Monday, and I am thrilled for the start of school on Thursday. Looking forward to it. That's all.
Okay, my comments tonight, just want to say thank you to everybody who came out for the breakfast. Member Barringer and I got the wonderful opportunity of handing out the little paper handout and getting to just see people. And I would like to mention Mr. Miller, who is very efficient at handing out, because anytime I was trying to give someone a paper, he had already given them one. And so then I just got to meet new people and shake hands. So that was great. But so excited to see so many from our staff just show up, get ready, like Mr. Bristol said, just looking excited for the new year. And I think the tone of the year is just looking good so far. I'm looking forward to back to school night tomorrow night with my kids as we get ready, and one more night to stay up just a little past bedtime for my kids. And then it's, getting them to bed early as we get ready for school. So for all the parents and for all the students and for all of our staff, just looking forward to a good year. And for you, Dr. Holman, I know I always send you a text the night before school
Thank you.
to let you know that we hope you do well this year. And just personally, just that I'm praying for you, that there's a lot that happens. There's a lot that goes on that you just kind of need some grace for, to get through as we navigate the first week of school and stuff. And I'm sure there's a ton of work for everybody else who sits up here. So good luck to you guys, and thanks. Administrative comments. We'll start on this side. Mr. Miller.
Thank you. Just a quick list here. First of all, big congratulations to Debbie Barber for her new role as principal over at Vista Verde. She's going to do incredible work. She already is a proven commodity over there, and she is going to continue to be an incredible leader in our first chair, if you will. So we're here to support her in any way we can, just to ensure her success of her school, and most importantly, the success of her students. And then moving on, I've got to do something pretty fun today. I got a chance to break away from my desk, working on a task in there, and I went over to Phelan Elementary School. They christened a brand new book vending machine. I don't know if any of you have seen one before. I think it's only the second one in the high desert. So Apple Valley beat us to it, one of their schools out there, but they were excited. They had it all wrapped up in paper with a big ribbon, and they tore the paper off. And Tony Buckley, the principal, got to go ahead and purchase the first book, and they gave me a token, and I got to purchase one as well. Of course, we gave the books back to replenish, but if you get a chance to get over there and see that vending machine, it's right there in the front office. It's going to be a nice, exciting feature for families and kids to see when they come in at the beginning of the school year. Going on to new teacher academy, new to Snowline Teacher Academy. Had a great 2-day session this past week, Thursday and Friday. I want to give kudos to Charlotte Eckenroth, Pam Buchanan, Andrea Bartlett, and then also Deb Peace for being great facilitators in those sessions. I think we had 40 plus teachers, right? I think we had maybe 41. So it was great to see new energy in the room, both from brand new teachers as well as veteran teachers coming into our school district. People are excited to be here, and heard a lot of positive comments, especially from veteran teachers coming to us from other school districts, that they already feel that they're in a special place. So it's nice to hear things like that right out of the gate. And then moving on to LCAP revisions. That's the project I was working on today and over the last previous several days as well. I'll be bringing back a revised LCAP to you, not with major revisions, very minimal revisions, little details here and there. And what I'm going to do, we only have to do it in one sitting, one board meeting. It's presented as an information item. I'll provide a clean new LCAP that's fully revised, but I'll also provide the rough draft that I've been working on, leaving some highlights so you don't have to look for things in the LCAP that were revised. You'll be able to go right to the highlights and be able to see those changes, or at least what we were working on. But like I said, it was more just details and nothing at all in changing the overall spirit of the content of the LCAP. Yes, so just want to let you know that that's going to be coming. Wanted to talk also about independent study. As you might know, AB 130 has really been revised in what it requires us to do in regards to independent study. It's no longer a requirement as it was last year. So there are going to be some changes there, and there's going to be some upcoming changes in board policy when we receive those recommendations from CSBA. So we'll be changing our policy to reflect what we're required to do in regards to independent study. So, and then last item, just wanted to give a shout out to Serrano High School and MTS, specifically Chad Brooks over there for working collaboratively on some credit recovery efforts. They're desperately needed over at Serrano. Last couple of years of the pandemic has really created a deficit for some students in regarding those credits. And we have an ironclad plan that's going to prove very effective and get us a lot of mileage even out of this first in this upcoming school year to get those students over the finish line in regards to graduation. So we can provide more detail as needed, but I just wanted you to know that if you hear stuff out on the streets from folks about credit deficits in our district, we are really taking it seriously, and we have a very strategic plan on how to address those needs. So that's all I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll go all the way to this side, Mr. Primo.
Thank you, Clerk Flores. Again, probably a spotlight of what you'd hope to hear as our enrollment center has been running really well this summer. Kirk Strickland and his team learned a lot from last year, right? We had a good reflective time today, realizing that as we were coming out of a pandemic, needing to do different styles of enrollment, it was a bit chaotic last summer as we were trying to really get folks on into Snowline. Kudos to Kirk, to Nancy, to reaching out to all of our administration and secretaries, really cleaned up the process, looked at staffing levels. It has been really smooth. If you have not had a chance to go into the building, it is just across the parking lot in what was considered to be the old Snowline, I'm sorry, the old Desert View. Gosh,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I blanked out on that. Thank you. But more importantly, the flow and the vibe of all of our new families coming into Snowline. It's been a really positive experience. Kirk was sharing today, and I think that really sets the tone to go along with some of the comments for a great year, right? Your first experience in Snowline, online enrollment, followed by face-to-face turning in of documents, followed by then reconnecting out at the site. So it's been really good to hear that from him because, you know, it segues nicely, certainly into the sites doing a great job of putting those students into classes in anticipation of back to school night and the first day of school, because our numbers are certainly up, right? So we have 78, a little over 7,800 students enrolled. Some, of course, has been stated, we're not sure if they're coming back, right? So we have to kind of wait the first day of school, all of our processes. But what's interesting is TK, you know, again, Alan Miller did a really good job of giving the overview of the TK changes. Currently, we have 171 TK students that have enrolled across all of our elementary schools. Many of them are hit numbers that they've not had before, right? Students that have actually 4-year-olds, you know, in that 4-year-old kind of kindergarten model. So it's been really nice to see. Some of our largest schools, of course, Serrano, a little over 2,200 pre-enrolled. Baldy Mesa, though, my goodness, just over 900 as an elementary school. We're talking about that. And also, too, since it was spotlighted relative to Snowline Academy when Alan was sharing, currently the numbers are down from what they've been in the last few years. I was talking to Chad Brooks today along with Alan Miller. We are less than we've been, probably half of where we were before. And we're anticipating that many are choosing to come back to our regular schools in anticipation of a good year. We do expect, though, that there may be some that decide to do independent study as the year starts, depending on any number of reasons that best fit, you know, their family needs. So we should be seeing more people in our schools. As we illustrate today, I was out at Pinion Hills Elementary for their back to school event, well attended. Many people in the parking lot were trying to find parking, made it into the building, and were greeted by an overwhelming supportive staff at Pinion Hills. So very good to see. But overall, then, as we think about staffing, we do have open positions in Snowline right now in special education, general education, PE on the elementary level. Certainly at the early part of this meeting, we've now created an assistant principal opening at Vista Verde Elementary. So again, Debbie Barber ascending into that role. So we are looking for positions. So please remind everyone that this is a wonderful district. We are looking for that special feel that Alan was referencing when it comes to new to Snowline, to continue with more new to Snowline. So please get out there, recruit all your friends to come to Snowline. We are a great place to be, a great place to work, and we encourage you to consider saying yes to Snowline moving forward.
Thank you. Mr. Zimmerman.
Thank you very much. Just great to be back in Snowline. I know it's been a couple months, but just, working through the summer, and the word that came to my mind today, after yesterday's breakfast, after seeing a group of maintenance and operations folks go up and completely clean up a classroom that we need at Serrano High School to add an additional special ed class, and then go in there in a couple hours and get that ready for then the custodial team to come in behind it and get it set up for the next teacher. But just awe is the word that's come to me, that our support services teams from all of our district offices, special services, nutrition services, M&O, transportation, risk management, business, the business office, purchasing, warehouse, reprographics, IT, they have been working all summer. This is their busy time, these 8 weeks, and still trying to squeeze in a little bit of time off. It's just watching the great work that they're doing to make the magic of day one of 180 come to life on Thursday. So exciting. I mean, beautiful thing about this profession is, new beginnings, and seeing these kids come along. That great news, hearing how many TK kids and even kindergarten enrollment, I think a few of the sites have said is up from what it has been, which is fantastic news. So excitement. And then Mr. Miller mentioned the new to Snowline Teacher Academy. Now, some of the folks who have taught elsewhere and have chosen to come here for a variety of reasons, talking about just the energy and the welcoming and the preparation that's coming forth. I heard that today from a new special ed teacher at Pinion Hills Elementary, who's not a new teacher, but is new here, and just pulled me aside when I introduced myself to her, and she said, I have never had a welcome like this from a school district or a school site. And then she said, and the thing that has made her the most excited about starting school on Thursday is the push for academics with special education students. She said, I've come from other places where it's not that way, and it is just, make them happy, make them comfortable, keep them coming to school, which are all great things. But she said, here, you're asking me to teach, and that's what I wanted to come and do. And so that was just really exciting to hear coming from folks, and excited for the new leadership at Vista Verde. Excited for who's gonna come, and sometime in the very near future, we'll have an assistant principal to be there with Debbie Barber, because great things coming in this 22-23 school year. So exciting.
Thank you. Mrs. Stepp.
Yes, I would just echo what has been said by everybody. But I want to piggyback off of what Sean Primo talked about today with his meeting with Kirk Strickland. I meet with the site secretaries monthly, and today I just wanted to do a quick touch base with them to see where they were at. And not all could join, but several joined, and support staff as well from special services and adult ed. And I have to say that the input that I received from them on the smooth flowing process of enrollment this year just exceeds all the problems that we had last year. They just went on to say how great with the things that Rachel Wadsley had implemented as the secretary in special education, working with and Lori Delgado as the administrator at that time, working with the enrollment center, taking all the input from the site secretaries and principals and leadership council, that things were just going great. And so that was absolutely fantastic to hear. And so I appreciate our enrollment center. I appreciate our special ed folks. I appreciate everybody that is working so hard to smooth out that process. Also, I had the awesome opportunity to cook for our leadership council folks on August 1st. And it was just my honor and my pleasure to do that. I really felt like it needed to be done so that they could understand the amount of gratitude I have for them in all of their roles. Last year was such a hard year. And so it was my pleasure to cook for almost about 45 people. And I just appreciate all of our leadership council and the hard work and effort that everybody in that group puts into what they do for students, staff, and community. And I also want to say that today I had a surprise visit from two of my grandkids that came to see me. And one is a high school senior this year, one of them. And boy, he was just looking forward to the opportunity he has with his firefighting classes and avenue that he is taking, pathway, thank you, that he is taking with Mr. Chacon up at Serrano High School, and just, made my heart full, because honestly, I never would have thought that direction would be found, but it's been found, and he feels really a part of. And so I just appreciate the board and their support for all of the pathway programs as well. And that'll do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Holman?
Yeah, thanks so much. I think that was Austin Daughter, right?
Yep,
And I'm saying that name again, Austin Daughter. I'll say it a third time, Austin Daughter, so that a board member over here who probably engages in hiring practices down the road might remember that name, right? There we go. Yeah, thanks to everyone here sitting at the board for these great comments. I concur with every single one, truly. And I'm going to begin with maybe the summer. Boy, summers go by quickly for many reasons. I'm going to hone in on, I think, what's been said on this side here. That you think about our support staff who, for the summertime, many of them will not take vacations during that time because they are getting the school system ready. And I use that word system purposely because it's the departments, it's the school sites, it's everywhere. And I just want to express my sincerest gratitude to everyone. And then up comes August 1st, the administrators come back, then August 8th, the teachers, and it takes the entire village of almost 1,000 employees to get Snowline Joint Unified School District ready to open on Thursday. And that's soon. It's less than 48 hours away, right? And so I just thank everyone who put forth their effort to do that. And then tied into, I just have to reiterate the attendance process that we now have in place and how supportive that is of our staff members, but also of the families, because their first contact now is at the school site is one where they can truly not worry about paperwork, connect with all the staff members, and get their children ready to do what's best in this whole process, and that's go through the educational experience. And so just so thrilled and appreciative of everyone who's engaged in that, and reiterate that. Going back to the welcome back breakfast, to you three board members, thank you for attending. I want you to know that does not go unnoticed by staff members. We hear it We hear it consistently. They might not say it directly to you. I bet some do. They appreciate seeing you. But many are very appreciative because it shows the support that they know you give here at this table, but to do it at the the Toronto High School Stadium. Thank you so very much. To do it in heat like we had there without melting. Thank you oh so very much. And we served well over just to give you, if you're wondering how many attended, we didn't take inventory, but you think about that stadium seats 2,000. Didn't look as many, but we estimate we had over 900 people there because we served in the first go round well over 800 meals. I didn't take one, so probably not everyone took a meal, right? And then we gave away up 1,012 meals in the end game. So we had just about everyone there. Some others had duties, right, that they had to tend to. But I thank you for being there. I thank everyone for being part of that. And I think while I believe we were grateful as a senior cabinet because we chose to have the comedian, we felt like the system needed to laugh. And I think we got some of that laughter truly does nourish the soul. I do believe it was best was just the connection. And that was the first time in 3 years that in many cases, employees, say from Baldy Mesa Elementary School, got to see employees from the Heritage School or from Wrightwood and so forth. And that's powerful. And I bring that up because relative to enrollment, I think what we hear the most, and boy, those poor candidates who come in for interviews are subjected to my little 30 seconds if I fall upon them. I love that time. And what we typically hear is what's been said, and that's the notion of the culture. That culture is incredibly powerful. It comes and begins with all of you, and it's supported by the senior cabinet and administration and all of ultimately our staff members. And people are really grateful for the culture that is welcoming, as I mentioned, that's supportive, a culture that says we care about our kids. And that's where I'll finish in our core values. We think about that world-class education that kids are going to be getting come Thursday, August 11th. And they're going to have one that's based on equity, of course, and all those barriers are going to be, torn apart and thrown aside, so all kids have access to it. We're going to do this in safe environments, partnerships, but ultimately that last core value that I'll mention is the most important one on top of fiscal responsibility and those great relationships and risks that we have with with our bargaining groups, and that is that our people matter, and that's what I saw in that welcome back breakfast. And kids want you to know you all matter. Hashtag Snowline Success, hashtag Snowline Success, hashtag Snowline Success 3 times there, because that is the mantra this year. And it's going to be a successful year for our kids, for our staff members, for our community, and not just because of our health and wellness emphasis, but because of those core values that all of you, they emanated from all of us. Take those seriously. So absolutely looking forward to Thursday. Let's get ready. Let's get sleeping, like you said there.
Get to bed on
Right
time.
there, Clerk Flores. So thanks so much.
I forgot to mention in my comments that President Hernandez is at back to school night tonight. And that's why I'm sitting here today. So we are looking very forward to our next meeting when he'll be back in the seat. And I'll just go sit on the side again. Anyway, thanks so much.
I also forgot to recognize Pinion Hills Elementary for their AVID program. They were one of 5 schools nationwide that were selected. Can you
Yes, they were, and I can tell you,
elaborate?
you said it very well. I mean, you nailed it. That for the years of outstanding AVID accomplishments that they have out there, Ted Alejandre was the one who was behind, really the final, I would argue, recommendation for that. We know Ted Alejandre, just an outstanding educator who understands when there's excellence, and he really is the final one. He really does, right? And so for their outstanding work, $10,000 from AVID that goes to that school to be able to use at the school site to further those AVID efforts. So thanks for bringing that up.
Outstanding.
Outstanding, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there being no further business to come before the board, it's recommended that this meeting be adjourned. I'll accept a motion.
Motion.
Okay,
Second.
All those in favor? Unanimously. This meeting is adjourned. We'll see you all August 23rd.
I need a signature.